Hi, Nick Grabovac here, your personal guide to the art and science of mindfulness. This video is all about how to use meditation to build your mindfulness skills. Now, if you haven't watched my video about what mindfulness is, you may want to check that one out first, since it'll help you understand much better what I'm going to show you in this video. Let me start by saying that there are many ways to develop mindfulness skills. I'm going to focus on meditation in this video, and in future videos I'll cover some of the other ways, so keep your eye out for those. So, why meditation? Well, I like to make an analogy with training for sports. I'm an avid rock climber, so I'll use rock climbing as my example. If you want to get really good at climbing, well, you need to train a bunch of different things, including movement technique, finger strength, power, and so on. Now, obviously, just by climbing a lot, you're going to train all those different things. But if you want to get better as efficiently as possible, you need to isolate those different parts and then train them individually, ideally in an environment like a climbing gym. And then when you get back outside on the rock, you can use your newly developed skills to climb more difficult things. Now, the same thing applies to mindfulness, which is very much a trainable skill. You'll definitely improve your skill just by being mindful as you go about your day. But if you want to fast track your skill development, then you need to be like an athlete and simplify conditions so that you can isolate and then practice your skills in an ideal environment. And that's what meditation does. Improving your mindfulness skills through meditating makes it easier to then use those skills during your day when you're not meditating. Okay, now that you know why meditation is useful, let's cover some of the basic setup for your practice. Now, the absolutely hands down most important thing about meditation is that you need to do it every day. You need to be consistent, no excuses. Now, it doesn't have to be a long time. Even a few minutes in your parked car is better than nothing. But you need to do it every day. I can't stress this enough. Why is this so important? Well, remember, mindfulness is a skill, and like any other skill, say like learning to play the piano, if you practice every day, assuming you're practicing correctly, you'll get better and better, and eventually you'd be able to play beautiful music. But if you only practice, here and there when you happen to be in the mood, well, you're not going to improve very much, and it'll be a long time before you've got enough skill to play something like, say, Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor. Meditation is similar. The other super important thing is to practice correctly. I mean, you can practice 3 hours a day, but if you're not practicing the right way, all that time and effort just be wasted. So let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. Now, I've been meditating for a long time, over 20 years, and I actually spent a lot of that time in wasted effort because I wasn't practicing correctly. But once I learned how to meditate properly, I improved my skills dramatically. In fact, in only a few short months, I made more progress than I had made in the previous several years. That's the difference that precise instructions can make. Now, the type of mindfulness meditation that made all the difference for me and that I teach is called noting practice, and it's very simple. During noting practice, you begin by paying attention to the physical sensations associated with breathing. And in particular, you want to focus on the sensations in the abdominal area as you inhale and exhale. Now, as you pay attention to these sensations, you mentally label them, which is why it's called noting practice. Noting practice is so effective because it strengthens your skill in all the key components that make up mindfulness. And if you watch my video about what mindfulness is, you'll know that the components of mindfulness include alert observation, receptiveness, and equanimity. Now, to observe something, you need to be able to actually direct your attention to your object of interest and then hold it there for as long as you need to in order to be able to see it clearly. Noting practice trains this ability by requiring you to perceive the sensations you're observing in enough detail and with enough clarity and longevity that you can actually correctly label them. Noting practice also trains receptiveness and equanimity, the ability to allow anything to come into your awareness, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, and take an equal interest in it. Now, the act of mentally labeling what you're observing increases both your interoceptive awareness and your tolerance for intense sensations and emotions. And that improves your ability to simply allow these sensations to arise and pass on their own without your interference. In fact, there have been many scientific studies showing that mental labeling like this helps you to reduce the perceived intensity of emotions and helps us to handle them better. So, if you'd like to give this a try, you can download a set of free guided meditations that I've put together that teach you to use the noting technique on my website. So just go to 30daysofmindfulness.com/getguided and follow the instructions. I've included a short instructional video there, as well as 2 MP3 files, a guided meditation for beginners, as well as one for those of you who've moved past the beginner stage and are ready for something a little more challenging. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up here on YouTube and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And also, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any new videos as they go live. I'm Nick Grabovac. Thanks so much for watching.